Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to share with you the actual pricing for $10,000 of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 59-year-old female. Now, first thing I recommend is going to our website and checking out our free quoter. And all you need to do is just select the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states. Select the coverage amount, put your birthday in there, fill out the rest of the info, click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page that's going to show you the best insurance companies that are going to offer you the lowest rates based off your age, gender, and the state that you live in. You can also call us at our toll-free number, 888-862-9456, and one of our agents can do all of that info for you and help you understand exactly what you're going to qualify for as well. Now, the first thing we recommend to a 59-year-old female looking for $10,000 worth of insurance is just asking yourself, is that going to be enough insurance for your final expense needs? Now, typically that would be either a cremation or a burial. So let's take a look at those in order. The average cost of a cremation in the United States right now, if you come home in a cardboard box or an urn, is between $1,000 to $2,000. Now, if you're going to have some sort of a ceremony with that cremation, it's probably going to be around $3,500 to $4,500, depending on the part of the United States that you live in. Now, as far as coverage amounts for that cremation where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn, we would typically recommend getting around $5,000 to $7,000 worth of coverage. That's what most people do anyway. And you might be asking, well, Randy, if the cremation's $2,000, why are we looking at $5,000? And the reason is our 59-year-old female probably wants to make it to 69 and maybe even 79 years old. And we just want to make sure that we get enough insurance to inflation-proof the plan, because we know prices go up over time due to inflation. So what we do is we just lock in the lowest rate at your current youngest age and get some extra coverage, and that inflation-proofs the plan. So if you die later in life, there's still enough money there. But what it also does is it protects early on in the plan too by providing a little more coverage than that's needed. And that way, if you did die too early, there's money in there to take care of some other final expenses, like maybe credit card bills or medical debts or something like that, that if you'd been given the gift of time, you would have eventually paid those off. So it works out terrific. It not only protects long-term, but also protects in the short term. Now, if you're going to have that cremation with some sort of a ceremony, we would typically help people with $7,000 to $10,000. And again, that just protects long-term against inflation, but also short-term, just in case you die sooner than anybody expected, and there's some extra things that needed to be paid off. Now, if you're looking for a burial, the average cost of a burial in the United States right now is right around $10,000. So if you walk into pretty much any funeral home in the United States with a check for $10,000, they will help you get it done. It's hard to imagine they wouldn't and say, hey, walk out the door, and you could then walk to one of their competitors a couple blocks down the road and give them the money. But just understand, $10,000 is not going to be anything fancy right now. It's kind of entry level. It's going to be very simple. And really, it just kind of covers today's needs. It does not inflation proof the policy at all. So I know this video is about 10,000, but most 59-year-old females, we would be helping with anywhere between 10,000 to 15,000 to 20,000. Now, if money's a little tight for you right now, you can always start with the 10,000, because that takes care of the most immediate needs right there. And then we can always help you add more coverage later. But some people, they just want to kind of one and done it and get it done and not have to worry about it. And then that would be kind of maybe either that 15 to 20,000, somewhere in there. Now, seems like, now sometimes we get a call from somebody that says, hey, I want to take care of my final expenses and leave a bunch of money behind for, my kids or family members. And then we show them that extra pricing, like maybe 30, 40, or 50,000, say it's 50,000. And they look at that price and go, oh, I can't afford that because they're on a fixed or limited income. And then they just go, well, if I can't do 50,000, I'm not going to do anything at all. And then we have to let them know that if they don't do anything at all, their kids are going to end up having to pay this for them. And that's exactly what they approached us for in the first place, is make sure that didn't happen. And chances are the kids aren't going to have the money at the time when that happens. So they'll have to put it on a credit card, and the kids will be paying like 26% interest. So what we really recommend doing is getting the final expense policy in place first. And then if you want to, at some point in the future, add additional coverage for the kids, we can do that under a separate policy. And that works terrific, and it's kind of solves both problems all at once. Now, one thing we always recommend getting is first day coverage or benefits. Now, what that means is, hypothetically, if your plan were issued and approved today and you passed away tomorrow, the insurance company would have to write a check for that $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, whatever it is. We do not recommend 2-year waiting periods, and we'll talk about those in a minute, because what we're talking about here is first day coverage. It's going to be the best coverage at the lowest pricing. Now, sometimes people will say, well, you're right, Randy, I do want the first day coverage, but I hear they ask health questions and I'm not in the best of health. And we say, yeah, you're right, they do ask health questions, but that's really our concern, not your concern, at least from an insurance underwriting standpoint. And what we mean by that is that we work with a whole bunch of different insurance companies, and they all ask different health questions, and they all have different underwriting requirements. So really right now, about 90 to 95% of the time, we're getting people approved for coverage with first day benefits or coverage. And that's exactly what you want. You want to stay away from those 2-year waiting periods. Really, the only reason we wouldn't be able to get anybody first day coverage is if they'd waited too long and they had some really significant health issues, like maybe they had a terminal illness and they were going to pass away in the next 12 months, or maybe they had dementia or were on dialysis or in a hospital or in a nursing home. If that were the case, we would typically refer you out to a different insurance company. Now, one thing that always happens, seems like on a weekly basis, is we'll get a call from somebody and they'll say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week. They didn't have insurance. We don't have any money. And the body's down at the funeral home, and the funeral home director's not going to do anything until he gets a check in his hand. And so we need to get this insurance really quick so that we can get that money from the insurance company to pay the funeral home director. And we have to let them know that there's no insurance company in the United States that's going to issue a policy on a dead person. You actually have to be alive to qualify for this insurance. And it's really sad that their family member passed away, but it's doubly sad that they didn't have this insurance or protection in place. They knew they were going to die. They probably looked at this insurance in the past and never did anything about it. And they just kept putting it off. And then one day they just went and died. And now their family has to clean up this mess and pay the bills. And chances are people are going to have to put this on credit cards at 26% interest. And they're going to spend years and years and years paying this off. And what a terrible legacy to leave behind. You could have done everything else right in your life, and then you leave people with this one sour memory just because you didn't take care of things. So don't leave that legacy behind. This insurance is affordable. If you need to, we can start smaller, add more coverage later. But yeah, just protect your legacy. Now, as I mentioned before, the plans we don't recommend are those ones with 2-year waiting periods. And Colonial Penn out there, you may not know this, but their $9.95 plan, you've probably seen that on TV a whole bunch. That $9.95 plan, that is a 2-year waiting period plan, and you want to avoid that. You want to avoid that if you can qualify for first day coverage. Trust me, I'll show you why in a moment here. But, Colonial Penn, they're not the only one that offers those 2-year waiting periods. I mean, there's other companies too, like Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha line, AIG, Gerber. Gosh, just a host of other different insurance companies. So some of these companies have done an amazing job at convincing the American public that if you're over age 50, the only thing you're going to qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period, to which we always say, don't believe such nonsense, because we help people with first day coverage all day long. Now, our female age 59, she is probably thinking, I'm going to get some pretty good insurance. She probably just watched that TV commercial for $9.95 and says, at age 59, I feel so good about that commercial because it's so slickly produced that I'm probably going to get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000 worth of coverage for only $9.95. And then she talks with a Colonial Penn agent or looks it up online like we've done for you on their website and sees that a female age 59, 1 unit of coverage, which is only $9.95, is only going to pay out $1,556. So that's probably enough to take care of a cremation in most parts of the country, except for one thing. This plan has a 2-year waiting period, and it's not going to pay out in the first 2 years for any health or medical related cause of death. It's going to have a 2-year waiting period. So, and just remember, 2 years, things are going to be more expensive than they are right now. So why would you ever do that? Why would you ever get a plan that's not going to do what you want it to do when you pass away? And this is only for $1,500, right? What if we want a burial? It's certainly not going to work. Now, there's some people out there that would say, that companies that offer teaser rates, super low rates, that they actually don't want you to buy that super low price plan because it's not profitable for them. So not as profitable anyway, perhaps, but some would say that they offer those low teaser rates just to get your information, to get you into their marketing funnel so they can call you, and then they will show you that low price and show you how little coverage it is, and then they will try to upsell you to higher coverage amounts that are much more profitable for them. Now, we would never say that Colonial Penn would ever do anything like that, but some people believe that, and I guess you have to formulate your own opinion based on the fact that $995 is only going to pay out $1,565. But in this video, we're looking for $10,000. So what would that be? How many? We got to play around with units. You can't buy $10,000 on the nose like the other insurance company. You got to buy it by the unit. And I don't know, is that 7 units? There we go. 6 units is going to be, we got to go 7 units, and that's going to be a little bit more. But that's the only way we're going to get at least $10,000. And it's right around $70. So let's take a look. Let's do this. Let's take a look at what first aid coverage would cost for $10,000, and we'll see if we can save you money. I'm pretty confident we can. Here we go. So we got $10,000 for a female, age 59. Click get quote. We're going to come back and look at this real quick again. We're getting roughly $10,000 for $70. If we come over here, here we go. I'm going to show you again here. We are $10,000 here, and it's $31. So would you rather get $10,000 for $31, or would you rather get $10,955 for $70? I know it's $955 more, but we can't get around that. They won't let you buy $10,000. And what we consistently see, really through all age ranges, is that Colonial Penn is generally right around 200% more expensive than our first aid coverage companies. And if you look at this, you're paying $31 versus $70. So why would you ever do that? I mean, that's 31. So that's roughly $38 a month. And if we multiply that times 12 months, 38 times 12 is roughly $456 more a year. And if we multiply that times 10 years, our 59-year-old female will now be 69 years old. She would have overpaid right around $4,560 on a $10,000 policy. Now, does that make sense to you to overpay that much? Oh my gosh, and get socked with a 2-year waiting period. So what we really do is we recommend you go with a lower price company and you get first aid coverage. This level means first aid coverage. Why would you ever go with a plan that, from the very day you start up, you're going to be overpaying. And then after 10 years, you're going to overpay right around $4,560. We think that money is better off in your bank account rather than the bank account of an insurance company. So you just need to be a smart consumer. And if you're not a smart consumer, no harm, no foul. Let us help you out. We can help you be a smart consumer and shop for and get qualified for these lower rates. Let's look at some other companies here, though. Let's see, because we're $30. You'll be able to see all these different companies here. Let's find one here. Oh, yeah, here we go. Lincoln Heritage. They're a fine company, I guess, but look at their pricing. Yikes, quite a bit more. And it is level coverage. It's first aid coverage, but their pricing is really so high. And the reason it is they've got a deal where when you pass away, they will supposedly call 2 or 3 different funeral homes and do a couple other things like to get the lowest pricing and everything. But, it's not free. They don't do that for free. They charge for it. It's much more expensive. So this is roughly $45 compared to $31. So Lincoln Heritage is like $14 more a month. And you may go, that's not too bad. Well, that's $168 a year more. And you might go, well, that's not too bad. But if our 59-year-old female makes it to 69 after 10 years, you'll have overpaid right around $1,680. So ask yourself, is it worth paying an insurance company $1,680 to make 2 or 3 phone calls and do a couple of other things that only takes an hour or so to do? Most people would say, hey, that's a pretty good hourly rate for them. That's a pretty good payday for them. And again, we would rather see you keep this money in your bank account rather than give it to an insurance company to put into their bank account. So what we'd recommend you do is let us help you get approved for the lower price. And then what we offer is a free funeral and estate planning guide. And you can download that off our website, and then you can print it out. And once it's printed out, you fill it out. And all you do is you just write in who gets what goes where, and what happens to you after you're gone. And then you keep that with your insurance policy. And then when you pass away, your family members go to that one place, and they will know when they find your insurance policy and funeral and estate planning guide, they will know that you protected them both financially with the insurance, but also emotionally with the funeral and estate planning guide. Because all they have to do is open up that funeral and estate planning guide and read it and just follow your wishes and do everything exactly as you said. And you've provided the money to take care of everything. And they will know that you not only loved and protected them in life, but you actually loved and protected them that one last time in death. And what a wonderful gift to leave behind. What a wonderful legacy to leave behind for your family, to take all that load and financial pressure off them. We can help you with that legacy. Go to funeralfunds.com. We actually have a special quote for our YouTube viewers. You can go to funeralfunds.com/YouTube, and we've got a special quota there that's going to get you the best companies and the lowest rates. It's terrific. Take advantage of it. We actually have our toll-free number, 888-862-9456. Call that if you want one of our agents to help you. And, if you've got a existing policy and you want us to price shop it to see if you've got the lowest price, or you just want to add coverage to it, we can help you out with that. If you're looking for a brand new policy, or you just have questions and want to talk with somebody about what might be most appropriate for you, we can help you out with that. But we look forward to that day when we can help you get the most amount of coverage for the least amount of money. We will be blessed to help you with this at some point in the future. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.